to another video. I am QwertyAfro. You join me today with this very festive, or well, for the period of time where we're going into sort of like pumpkin spice season, but my very nice little Starbucks pumpkin mug. I just had to show it because it was just like it's my beverage now that I'm having, that I will have for this video. So yeah. In this video, we will be doing the final route, doing my the final video in the first look series of Train Sim World 3. We've done now basically all of them. Just as I said in the previous video, it's just essentially to get this is what you get with this game. If you wanted to buy any of the start routes, if you wanted to buy all of them, technically I could do an Age of Steam video at some point, but that's not really high priority for me right now. I just want to do the 3 main routes. I'll do the Age of Steam at some point, and that'll be a whole just like experience of just trying to work out stuff, as you know. But I'm looking forward to today's video in terms of we're just going to go a little bit all American. And we will essentially do the last route that comes with Train Sim World 3 as one of the starter routes. It is the Cajon Pass. I have no idea about anything about this route because I don't play American routes. I do like the sort of commuter kind of stuff, like the sort of Long Island Railroad and the Harlem Line. Those are some of my favorite ones. I tend to prefer the sort of commuter stuff that the American content has to offer. Even with British freight, I'm not really that keen or interested. We're just gonna have to do this. It's not a particular route that I would reach for, but because it's one of the routes that comes out with the game, I wanted to showcase it to you guys, and I wanted to do a sort of first look and see how an American route fares, or like this sort of kind of freight style American route. And the last time I played an American route in Train Sim World was probably when it was in the first iteration of the beta, which was Heavy Haul, CSX Heavy Haul. And God, we have come a long way. So I think I'm gonna do the BNSF ES44C4. I'm not gonna do the BNSF. God, I just have to say all the abbreviations, don't I? I'm not going to do the SD40 because I can remember that I've actually played in the SD40 a long time ago back in the beta with CSX overall, because I do believe CSX as well has these locomotives. But I don't think I've played in the ES44C4. So I would kind of want to pick that. And then, to be quite honest, I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know the route. It looks quite long. I don't know if it's as long as the German route, which was the longest, 186 kilometers. I was close. I was saying miles. It's actually in kilometers, which is about like 110, 20. So I don't know. I didn't do the conversion. I apologize. Still doing it in my head. So what could we do? I'm not really too versed with what. There's a grain train. There's an intermodal train. There's an oil train. There's auto track train. There's a cement train. Why don't we just drive a cement train? Let's do this U-HOLA or uniform. Test out my phonetic alphabet. Uniform Hotel Oscar. Uniform Hotel Oscar Uniform Lima Alpha Charlie 6-05 cement train from Houston to Los Angeles. Take over this unit cement train from Barstow to Victorville. So again, showing the real life sort of actual pathing of the train, or location to location, but obviously because it's not in the game, it just has that there for the timetable. But then when you look over, it's actually from Barstow to Victorville. So and then I wanted to try snow, but the thing is that in dynamic weather, there's only misty, light rain, rainstorm, clear, foggy, light clouds, heavy clouds, lightning storm, and then we're back. And one thing I was looking is at what's the difference between misty and foggy? Aren't they literally the same thing? So it's either I go off dynamic weather and do custom and then put a snow level. How would I put a snow level? Summer fog, summer rain, autumn clear, drizzle, spring. Oh, wait, I can't do snow level on this map. Spring clouds, spring rain, summer clear, summer, autumn, There's no winter. Wait, hold up. There's no winter. So is this, wait, hold on. Just a quick diversion, a quick, divert off the main route, off the main line onto a branch line. We'll come back to this. We'll bench this aside. I just want to be sure here. We're just going on to the island line here. So snow is a thing on dynamic weather, or as well custom weather, which you can do. And if I go, yeah, winter clear, winter cloudy, snow. Okay, so the Cajon Pass can't do snow. That is fascinating. So we cannot do snow on this map. Oh wait, no, we can. What the hell? Light snowstorm. What the hell? Wait. Because Samuel, you're gonna tell me in the comments now. Don't get your panties in a twist. Yes, I was in a summer month and I was trying to look for snow. Yes, I was in a summer month. But in some places around the world in the summer, it does snow. So, okay, maybe it's not here in the Cajon Pass. But okay, look, we've gotten to a time where we can pick snow. We'll do a snowstorm because why not? I don't want no light snow. I don't want we want heavy. We want full on dynamic heavy snow. And let's get into the game finally. And let's just forget that whole little episode of trying to find snow on the weather setting happened. Just ignore it. Enjoy. Right, let's get this party started with this BNSF ES44C4 14,309.5 tons. So we've gone from like about 300 tons with the previous ICE1 train that we drove to we've basically more than like tenfold, even more than 10. Yeah, more than tenfold. No, I don't know. It's a lot more tonnage and a lot more cars. Oh God. Right. American hauling. So we have 27 miles. We have an extra. Oh, my game is just trying to load in properly. We have a assistant with us today, which is very nice. It is definitely crouch button is very static. Oh, do you hear that? That's wind. It's hitting. Oh wow. Oh wow. Wow. Okay. Do we even? No. Stop it. Did you see that? There's a loading screen to go to the back of the screen. No. Stop it. There's a loading screen for that. I can't. No. That's funny. I'm not gonna lie. That's funny. Right. Let's get the headlights on. I presume they're already on. Locomotive, and I assume is the reverser in? Oh wait, no. Is the key in? How did these things called locomotives even work? Running guard. Horn, emergency bell, sander, independent brake. Great. So throttles on idle. Do we have a reverser? Let me just go through and just automatic brake, independent brake, headlight front. Oh, because we need to put the reverser key in. Right, that's in forward. Wow, we need. That is pretty bad, and I love I really do like the wind sound. I have to say that is. We're gonna increase the speed. We need it constant because this is a what's this? Alert unit alarm AB fail. It's a bit too much information overload in here. I'm not gonna lie. Right, so forward. We have a dynamic brake, which is that. Done. So no, we don't. So I'm going to release the brake. I think everything else that's released. Independent brake. We're just gonna take the independent brake off as well. Well, actually, no. Let's put on a bit of independent brake and let's set the generator field switch to on before apply. Oh, generator field switch. I need to actually just set up the train now, don't I? Generator field switch. Heated window heater on, definitely. Emergency lights, step light on. There we go. Okay, generator field switch is on. Is there anything else? Engine is on. That's definitely a given. What else are we looking at here to do? Can that be it? Can I just give a little power? Okay, we got some spooling. We got some revs. We've got movement, even though it's very slow. Okay, automatic brake is released, so I can just chuck the independent brake off. For more power. Oh, we might actually get some wheel slip, because actually that's one of the other kind of features that has actually been implemented into this game, is now we actually finally have actual simulated wheel slip, which oh wow, we're moving. We have 3 locomotives pulling this and probably another 3 at the back, but I don't want to go back and check how many we have at the back, because we're going to go onto the loading screen again. I think that's so funny. The train is so long. The train is so long that it needs a loading screen to go into another camera view. Right. Does this... Oh, there. Yep, got wheel slip, got wheel slip. Yeah, so we actually do have... Do we have a sander here? Alerter, horn sequence... If I add a bit more power now and a bit of sander. Yeah, I think that's giving a bit more grip. I'm going to chuck the heater to high heat, definitely. Well, this is freight action at its finest. At its finest, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I do like the spool. Well, why do I keep saying spooling? But the kind of snow mist, the base of the train. Even though it's a little excessive, but it's nice. Yeah, we can turn the bell off now. So automatically, when you do the horn, it automatically bells as well, which is a bit... Is that a feature on American locos? You just slam on the horn and the bell stays on until you actually have to turn it off? Are we still having wheel slip? I feel... Yeah, we are. Yeah, I think that illuminated on that screen. Do we have any other screens on this? No. Well, we're moving, so... And the gradient's 0.07. Which is, I guess, a bit rough for us. But man, I love the sounds. And I don't know if this is actually pretty true for like this sort of like area geographically. But it would be funny to kind of see this in real life. This sort of like, I don't know, maybe where global warming is going, I think maybe potentially we're gonna have like a Snowpiercer sort of situation here. Someone needs to do that actually. Someone needs to make like a Snowpiercer. If you don't know, you guys don't know what I'm talking about the TV show Snowpiercer. It used to be a film, and before that it used to be a comic. I've watched both. I've not read the comics. Well, actually, no, I've read a little bit of the comics and then watched the original film with Chris Evans, and then been watching the series that's on Netflix. And I have to say, it would be really interesting to have a sort of like Snowpiercer game, but like train simulator, where you're sort of like the driver or the engineer as they called, and you have to kind of like deal with incidents on this train while actually having to maintain the actual train going, because obviously that train essentially moves and creates its own power. We're good. I think we're good. I think we are good. If I apply a bit more power and add a bit more sand, how would that do? Doesn't seem to be reacting to the sand input that I'm trying to give it. And I wish I could just like lead axle sand. Oh yeah. Give me a bit of that lead axle sand. I will definitely take that. I just want permanent sand on. But we're now flat. Well, the back of the train is still on a gradient. The front of the train is on a flat ground. Which is kind of like, it bewilders me, these sort of, like, this is like in real life, it happens in terms in America, you can have trains that are like 6-9 miles long, and I just can't fathom that. Well, actually, I don't know about 6 or 9 miles long, but you can have definitely a few miles long, I'm pretty sure. I don't actually know what the longest, in terms of like, what would be the longest freight train that could be formed in America, in the States? Because I'm pretty sure in the UK it's like not really that, you know. Do we have anything else? Train line ground reset. I literally know nothing about these American sort of wait, banking com on, off. Ooh. Push to torque. Oh, that's just, yeah, nothing really interesting. Wait, hold on a second here. Wait. Guys, I'm not going mad here, right? You know what I'm... What? That was a woman, right? When I loaded into the game, that was, unless I'm completely misgendered and like just, I don't know, I didn't look at the person to my left with like great, you know, detail. So when I stood up and I saw, oh, I have an assistant, I just kind of looked and thought, oh, I just thought it was a woman actually when I first like had a quick glance, but now I look over and I'm pretty sure that's not a woman. But hey, you know, where's that call assistance button? Wherever it is. Attendant call. Attendant, please come back. Or maybe they just swapped shifts. Maybe they went out the door behind me and then another one came in while I was just like looking at dials and stuff like that. Who knows? Right. Can I Okay, so throttle 8 is the highest we can do. Dynamic brake off, everything's off. It's like this is the high road now. This is the iron road now here with all of this. Nothing really. So what do we have here? Brightness. Might as well just kind of get acquainted to stuff here. So that's. That does nothing. So this is just a brightness thing. And it doesn't actually turn it bright or dim it, which is great. Okay, ooh, we have something. Okay. Maintenance mode. Distribute power. Okay, this doesn't seem like it's a great or well scripted TMS thing screen, but that was something. I enjoyed my time just seeing if it had anything more, any kind of more substance to it, but obviously not. Gauge lights. Oh, there we go. That looks a lot more nicer and a bit more custom to the sort of vibe we're going for. Oh, this is slow. But this is hauling. And that car, is that a road? Well, at this point, anything really could be a road in this sort of sense of the imagination in this, with this sort of like weather. I really do like the wind. That's really good. Like that actually does sound like today. Actually, I was actually at work and I was driving, and on our class 3, 4, 5 trains that we have, the cab doors sometimes are just so bad. Like they leak air. So like you slam it, and then like if you're going at speed like 70 plus miles per hour, you get like a venting of air and a whooshing of air, like a draft of air through the sort of like seals of the cab door. And it, let me tell you, when you're driving at like 90 mile per hour and you're hearing that kind of like whooshing kind of sound, just like, let me tell you, it's not fun. And as soon as I get to the next station, I am literally opening that cab door and slamming it shut, trying to get like it all kind of sealed around the edges. Does that do anything? Like me holding this sand button? I guess it does. But we're going on a downhill now. So technically, we're going to gain some speed, and we might be able to get to our max speed of what that is, that 55 miles per hour potentially. Oh, and we don't have the wheel slip light has gone out, so we don't have wheel slip. We've got good power. We've got a down gradient working for us now. Now, my only problem is, I don't know this route. We obviously have 24 miles left to go, which is substantial. Maybe half of that is actually the length of this train. I do not know. Like, the back is still back where we started. But I hope the braking for when we actually have to stop is going to be good. Because now I'm getting like, sort of like, I don't know, I've not done a lot of freight videos in my time, but I remember there's been a few. I don't know if it did happen in them, but there's been some, let's say, questionable braking judgment. Because obviously in these type of trains and these sort of like consists of like, you know, freight wagons and tonnage, you have to basically, I would assume you'd have to plan out like your whole braking sequence, and essentially just, I don't know, maybe 10 miles out or 5 miles out, like that's where you're actually beginning your braking procedure. Because I do not want to know how long it takes for this whole train to come to a stand. We're gonna have to find out, but what I like with these sort of routes, I can just go round, have a little wander, go outside, feel the snow in my face, the blizzard. See, this is kind of like the shenanigans that you can do in Train Sim World. Obviously you can't do in Train, and this is sort of the kind of thing that makes it a little, I guess, more simulatory and then also a little less simulatory, because really getting up of your chair and walking, well, look, technically I don't know what the safety systems are on this, like in terms of like if it doesn't have a pedal for your feet to kind of like have to hold all the time, technically you could get up and just walk around. Well, most kind of train, well, UK trains, you have a vigilance pedal, so you have to have your foot all the time on the pedal, and if you get up, you can't, like, you need to acknowledge, like, the vigilance and keep it active. But one thing, in the ATO section that I do not drive in, but I'm in the cab and the train's driving itself, technically there is no, but there is still a vigilance alarm that I have to acknowledge, but I don't actually have to keep my feet on the pedals, so technically I can stand and watch the train drive, essentially like a tube driver. But then the difference with the, well, actually no, with manual driving tube drivers, they just have a dead man's handle that they have to hold, but on ATO lines it's literally just, you just sit and just wait for the train to kind of like come to a stand, and that essentially is what I could do when I'm like driving in the sort of like central operating system. I can just like literally press ATO start, I can get up, I can stand, I can put the blind down, because technically I don't need to really see what's ahead because it's a enclosed system with like there's platform screen doors and stuff like that, and all my information that I see for like what the train's doing is on my driver machine interface, as it's called, the DMI, and I can see where it kind of like, okay, we're flat now, again flat, but this now begs the question. No, okay, good. I was gonna go off the throttle, but then I saw the gradient pick up again to 0.5%, so I'm gonna keep it like that. Everything is rattling as it should be. We're in a basically a machine, a big arse generator that's powering pretty powerful, I would say, electric traction motors on each of these dense bogies, and for better measure, we have six locomotives doing it. And it looks like the weather's not gotten better, but it looks like it's a bit lighter, I suppose. Like it's just all snow. It's just all snow. It's basically either desert or it's a snow desert. No wheel slip still, which is good. And I feel we're basically at that sort of max speed. I don't think this train can really, even on a down gradient, I don't think it can really pick up much more speed. But also what's annoying is I wish I could I wish I could adjust the seat a little bit. Like, this is one thing, like, I don't understand why as well. Well, I don't know if it's a feature, but I wish you can actually, when you, like, similar to how you can do it in Euro Truck, is you have a seat configurator where you can actually move around your height adjustment, side to side kind of stuff of actually your seat placement. Would be really cool to see something like that in Train Sim World. I do a little horn there for the crossing. It would be cool to see something like that in Train Simulator, where you actually have a little bit of configuration where, like, I would love to just sit a little lower, because this lovely, this watermark here on the top part of the window is just blocking a pretty pivotal bit of sight line that I need to see in terms of like signals and stuff, but oh well, I can see a signal there, so I can, if it's on a curve, I can just catch it in the little top right part of the visible area where the wiper's catching. And I do not understand American signals where you have a red below and then a green on top, and like, what is the below signal even representing? Is that like a different path, a different, like, is there something going to split off in a bit, or is that just for like sight purposes that you can see? You always see a red, and then it's like you can distinguish the green better with like a red to contrast it underneath or something like that. I'm really not sure. I don't particularly understand, as I said, American signals. Like, you have all sorts of like flashing reds and flashing greens, and I think they have yellows as well. Bit of traffic here on our left. That's an RV. But if you like this sort of stuff, and obviously there's more technicalities and stuff to this, like obviously I'm playing it in a very sort of like simplified mode. Wait, hold on, we're gaining a bit of speed, but we're actually coming up to the sort of like, we're going to go past the max speed, permitted speed. Because I'm sure like here there's like, is there safety systems on this? Cab signals, I'm not going to turn them on. After last video, I'm not going to touch anything I'm not too sure about. Distributed power, battery reset, running lights on, fuel pump on. Oh, so this is just like more if you want to do like a cold start with this locomotive. Control cover. Okay, crosswalk lights on, control pump, number of lights, engine, okay, engine start, light, engine run. Oh, okay. Cool. Meanwhile, while I just completely not look at the way I'm supposed to go. Second man. Oh, the second man has its own like personal like heater stuff. Oh. You know what? I kind of dig this view. I dig this view a little better than the Right, let's chuck the throttle onto 8. I actually quite like this view. I see a lot more outside as well. I don't know if you guys like, obviously in the video it's not going to be like a little bit more like smaller, but for me on my monitor this is quite nice. I can just like, it's like almost like a visor kind of thing. It's just like perfect in my eye line of sight. I can see what I need to see. It's a nice view of the actual cockpit here from this angle. This is quite a nice way, but obviously the difference is here I don't have the UI for the actual train, so I'm just manually operating things with the mouse. But man, there is so much rattling and stuff going on. Like very busy, sound intensive trains. Fan speed. Fan speed, ooh. I don't want the fan on. Ah, okay. Nice. We like features. Clickable button features or flicky switchy features. Nice, I like it. We still don't. Okay, we're good with the wheel slip. We don't have wheel slip still. We're on full power. It looks like we're getting to the top of a hill, 0.7%, which is kind of a bit. That's why we're kind of tapped off a bit of the top speed that we had. But now hopefully it should level out from where I can see. And we should be able to gain a little bit more. But yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying this snow blizzard goodness. It's a bit dark, which obviously when it does snow, it's not particularly light unless it's like really white clouds. Most of the time when it snows, it is sort of like dark clouds. And to be honest, this is one of the only trains out of all the 3 that I've driven so far that, yeah, I could have my own little, you know, my own little mug IRL, and I'll just put it on, like, I'll put it out here on the desk, and hopefully it doesn't vibrate and fall off and crack and spill over and catch an electrical fire. But in the other couple of trains, like, you know, the Class 395 that I drove, or the ICE1, that's more like you need to have your flask, you need to have your like sort of like portable mug or whatever, or cup. You can't really have a mug. Oh, and we have another train with stacking. Jesus, like this is really the US, isn't it? Like you would never see this in the UK. The UK could dream of such a loading gauge that it could never attain. No one in the Victorian era thought, ooh, you know what, for like all the stuff that, all the goods and stuff that we can take, what about we have the actual main area that we have like the main stuff, and then what about if we put another set of it on top? No one was thinking that ahead of the time. But then again, back in the day, even in the early Victorian times, when like a lot of railways and stuff were like popping up in like the UK, there was bigger gauges, like there was broad gauge, which was crazy wide in terms of like the track, and some of the kind of like steam engines and stuff that were built for the time were really wide because the track was like probably another extra couple of feet wider than the sort of standard gauge that we're kind of like left with of today, which I think pretty much most of the world uses. Obviously you have things like narrow gauge and a few different other kind of like specialized ones in a few pockets here and there. Right, still on a gradient, and still no wheel slip. Or maybe when it's illuminated white, that means there's no wheel slip, and if it's grayed out, it means wheel slip. But I want to assume that there's no wheel slip right now. I want to assume that when it's actually white and it needs my attention, that means that there is wheel slip. And what are these symbols? We have quite a plethora of symbols here, which it just looks like it's like a dash of a car. So we have LH, SH, and obviously this one's illuminated, so this is like SH, LH, south something, shunt headlights or low headlights, I don't know. And then you have like some sort of, it looks like a trumpet or something, or a French horn. No, it looks like a trumpet. I don't know what that could be. Then you have some sort of bell, which I don't know, some assistant thing. Maybe, oh, maybe is it the, oh, I thought it would be the attendant call, maybe, if it would illuminate. Then we have some sort of, I think that might be the sander one. So if I was to turn off now the, if I was to turn off the lead axle sand, would that go out? Yes, that's the lead axle sand. Nice. I've deciphered something here. This is my accomplishment of this video. I've worked out what one of the illuminated icons on the information screen does. And then essentially, I guess that's your low fuel light, or your reserve fuel, which, to be honest, reserve fuel on this locomotive will probably be a lot anyway, so if if a driver would have to go to reserve fuel, that would be really crazy, but it's there if you need it. And then there is... This looks like a water fountain, to be honest. It looks, yeah, it's a red circle with a water fountain in it, and I really don't want to guess what that is because I have no idea. And then... Oh, so we have 4,700 gallons of fuel. Nice. And that's all, yeah, throttle A, effort nib 35. Effort nib. I wonder what an effort nib could mean. Or maybe that's like the stress of the actual locomotive, like if it gets more like, if there's more stress on it, the effort goes up or something. I'm not too sure, I'm just making stuff up now. But we're on a downhill. Hopefully pick up some more speed. I think we peaked now like 55, 56 miles per hour, I think. So I think that's like, that's the best. That's what you're gonna get, guys. You're not gonna get 100 miles per hour in this video. You're not even gonna get, you're probably not even gonna get 60, so rewind back to when we were at 55 and just enjoy that, savor that moment. Yeah, I don't know why in the cab, when I look outside, the actual scenery looks sort of lighter, and then when I pop my head out, it looks a little darker. Or maybe it's about the same, but I'm just... I think it's probably the same. I think it's because when I'm in the cab, I'm looking at like a much smaller kind of area of the outside environment. It's a little bit more like, oh, it looks lighter because probably everything inside the actual cab is a little darker. And then when I go outside, everything's essentially the same. Okay, a bit more speed, 0.5% decline. We're picking up speed now. Gonna have to be a little careful here. Don't want to let it run away. And we've got 14 miles, which does sound, it sounds like a lot, but maybe half of that's the length of my train, so I don't know where would I start braking. I really don't. Oh, and now again we're back on a gradient going up, so every time I kind of think, oh, let's get off the throttle, let's relax it a bit because we're going to run away with the speed, another uphill gradient pops up and we have this. Oh, and a little bit of track. This is like the first bit of extra track I've seen in a while. And there was only like one other train that we've seen so far, which, to be honest, pretty realistic. I'm pretty sure most of these sort of like railways and stuff out in the middle of nowhere don't probably get like a 2-minute headway of trains, you know. It's probably like more like half a day headway. And that might be even more frequent. That's probably like frequent for the area. You probably get like places that like are half a week headway at most. I don't know. But this is the freight life. Personally, I don't really enjoy it. There's nothing really crazy about this, but you know, I've done it now. It's there to be documented. My little first look of the Cajon Pass. I've never played on it before. I can't really tell you my full extent of like, oh, how do you find how it looks like or whatever, but because obviously I've covered the whole damn route in snow. So I can tell you in snow looks rather interesting. And again, we're going up in gradient. I'm just like watching this gradient go up and down. So the only door is behind me and not to the other side. I wonder why that is. Well, then there's actually a seat there. Right. 12 miles to go. Gradient seems to be evening out again, which is nice. That's good. Another crossing. I guess, do you keep the bell? Do you keep the bell on until the whole train's gone past the crossing? Or is there any point, because only the locomotive has the bell and not the actual like wagons? So I don't know. It'd be interesting to read the sort of American version of like the railway handbook or rule book, whatever they call it, or whatever sort of like principle, sort of main body of rules that. But I'm guessing because America's so big, I don't know if each state has like its own sort of like rule book. Because in the UK, where there's only just like one rule book, and then every other kind of like country has like their own. But for like somewhere that's like as big as the states, where essentially this like where you have like multiple states that are the same size as like countries, I don't know, would it be kind of like sort of mad to think that each state has its own sort of rule book, or it's just standard across the whole United States? This would be something I would love to know, and if anyone does know, do let me know. I really do not want to know how we're going to slow down this train. The more I'm thinking, it's a feeling or thought in the back of my head right now, but it's ever so like more and more as time progresses, it's like coming to the, it's probably like near the midsection of my head right now, and it's like it's pushing forward. It's getting to that point where like I'm like sort of like, oh, what are we gonna do here? Because obviously we have automatic brake, which is the whole train, I do believe, and then we have an automatic brake, we have a dynamic brake, and we have an independent brake, which I assume the independent brake is for the locomotives only. The dynamic is locomotive, but the regen, I guess if there's a regen aspect to the actual braking on the locomotive, and then obviously the maybe the automatic brake is all the brakes combined on the whole consist. That is my guess. I might be slightly wrong with that, but knowing, I guess I need to sort of work out what would I initiate first. Maybe a bit of, I would say, just like throwing it out here, I'd probably go first with a bit of dynamic brake. Like, look, it even has a set up mode. So I guess you set up with the dynamic brake. Well, oh, actually, all of them. No, actually, no. What's this? What? Relmin. Oh, release min. Full suppression. No, what? Full service? HO. Oh, emergency. Oh, so HO's full service. SUP is... I have no idea, but I'm guessing minimum somewhere in halfway, really full brakes, and then emergency, and then the independent brake release and full. But yeah, I'm gonna swing it in a bit of dynamic, I think, and then I'll go over to maybe the automatic brake to like get the dynamic brake kind of spooling a bit, get the motors engaged in braking, and like, you know, get the force kind of like tamed and kind of like controlled, and then head for like the auto brake and get everything sort of braking slowly but surely all together, and then maybe finish off with a bit of independent brake. Okay, wait, hold on here. Dynamic brake, return throttle handle to idle, move braking handle to setup, pause, then advance as desired. Okay, so that sounds rather like what I was kind of thinking of doing, I think. I'm not too sure. And I've not even looked at what this screen does. What does this screen do? Map not available. Was this like maybe a map of like a yard for like shunting and splitting and joining wagons or something like that? I'm not too sure. Or maybe a map of the actual route. Yeah, I think we have a solid plan there. I think a bit of dynamic brake, then onto the auto brake, and then hopefully we won't need to use the independent loco brake, but that would be a good like sort of final piece of the puzzle, and just like, you know, handbrake on sort of kind of thing. Hopefully, I really hope the aim is not to use emergency, and then fundamentally is we want to wait, what was that? Wait, what was that? What just happened there? You guys caught a glimpse of that, right? It just kind of like went over the speed limit, and then it like sort of, I thought it dumped into emergency or something there. But it lost a bit of speed, like 10 miles per hour, and now seems relatively fine. I'm a bit suspicious. Did you do something over there? Were you messing with me, assistant? Oh. Wait. Hold on. Is it when I go outside onto the external camera, the water droplets on the actual windscreen reset? Oh, alright. I will not comment on that, but that's, yeah. To be honest, I'm more like, there's half of me that's like, okay, a little buggy that, but then half of me is like, thank you, like I can actually see outside my cab. Like, you know, like all of this was covered before. It's not going to get covered again. But I don't know why it sort of like reset there. Really weird. Really, really weird. Right, we have 5 miles to go. I kind of think, depending on the gradient, maybe it would be best to sort of come off throttle now and kind of roll. We should have enough momentum to keep rolling at a decent enough speed, but I'm just not sure. Because 5 miles is still like a pretty long way away. It's not like, obviously we're basically around the corner at this point, but okay. Oh, that's a really good thing that the dynamic brake was switched on, because that would have been funny if it was off and I went in to do dynamic brake and was sitting there waiting for something to happen, and then we just like were literally like 500 yards away from our stopping position. I also need to take a screenshot, but it's so hard to kind of get a decent kind of thing. I'm sure something like that is fine, because after all we are doing like a heavy thunderstorm. Oh, that looks nice. A little bit of an embankment. 4 miles. Okay, look, but there's some built-up areas and stuff around here. There's more tracked, I kind of think. Oh, and we have a... Okay. Battle stations, battle stations. We need the setup now. We need the setup. 700 feet, 7,000 feet until a amber signal, a yellow signal, or 35 mile per hour. Okay, okay. Wow, this setup actually is doing good. Well, then again, we're on a gradient, so the topology is helping me immensely here, and I can only thank it. Now you can really feel like all these sort of squeakiness, like kind of like audio cues that you can hear, really makes it kind of like feel like it's just like now kind of bumbling along without the sort of like engine in full kind of like gear. So 1.9 miles, 35 mile per hour. We're already at 39. At this point, I could even just slap off the dynamic brake and let the gradient itself kind of slow me down here, because this is like perfect. Like, this is good. We're rolling here. Right. Okay, we have achieved 35 miles per hour, a little later. I could add a bit of throttle just to maintain the speed. Hopefully. Hopefully we don't get any wheel slip. And these 6 locomotives really pack a punch. Oh, they really pack a punch. Okay, that is our flashing yellow. I have no idea what a flashing yellow means. I'm hoping it means maybe the next one's a steady yellow and then a red, or maybe the next one is just a red. I do not know. Luckily, I have the actual signal thing to tell me what the next signal is, so once we pass it, we'll get a better understanding of what this flashing yellow means. When I see a flashing yellow, I'm just like, oh, the route is set. Okay, so it's another yellow. So maybe like a single yellow, or just a normal yellow in the States is just flashing all the time. I'm not sure. Right, a little more throttle, because we actually are losing quite a bit of speed. Yeah, let's get it back up to like 30 mile per hour. There we go, effort. Not getting any wheel slip, which is nice. To be honest, one thing I do like about like freight, and especially like this with this sort of like American way of driving freight, is that obviously you have to think about like this, probably braking or like stopping the train is probably more exciting than actually taking power and driving the train. Because I'm like, my thinking cap's on, like I'm actually concentrating to like, you know, I'm thinking about how am I actually going to stop this like behemoth of a consist that I have, you know, lugging behind my backside. We still have the sander on, so we shouldn't be getting any sort of like wheel split. Because we can even bump it up to full power. And we're flat again. Okay, there's the wheel slip. Add a bit more sand. Just want to get between like 25, 30 mile per hour. We are still okay. Wheel slip is gone. If we can maintain that speed, that should be good. So our stopping point is in now on like around 9,000 feet. Next signal is in 5,000 feet. It's weird seeing feet as like the actual measurement. Yeah, that should be good. I think we're all right. So I'm guessing, yeah, that the next yellow, maybe steady yellow, and then there'll be a red for like our stopping position. Just do one more for the road as we curve round. Oh wow, this is a curve. I'm gonna go off the throttle now. Alright, idle it. Maybe leave it in 1. Looking at all my numbers here. What's going on? Yeah, okay, that's a steady yellow. So yeah, flashing single yellow for maybe double yellow, like a precautionary, and then steady yellow for a red ahead. Which I kind of like that. That's actually kind of makes sense. Right, so below, okay, 45. Well, definitely, we're definitely below the speed limit. Definitely being very safe here with the approach here to our Victorville stop location. Okay. Yeah, okay, now it's literally just we're worrying about where we're going to stop. So I'm looking at this 4,500 feet, and this is basically now the target, the aim, the goal, the finisher. Can we finish strong? God, I don't know. Like, it's so weird. Like it's good. Like, there's a lot more numbers counting down, but that is counting down rather far. Oh, and I can actually see. Oh, hello. No. We're gonna get the setup, get a bit of setup going. Hopefully we can just do this in dynamic. I really hope we can just do it in dynamic. Okay, 3,000 feet. Right, I'm gonna apply brake free. Ooh. Yeah, you can hear the So wait, does the engine create more energy to dissipate the braking, or to put the braking in a sort of reverse action or something? Ooh, okay, hold up here. Bit of automatic brake having to come. I'm going to use a little bit of automatic brake. Maybe a lot more automatic brake. Go to 50%. Ooh, this is a bit of independent brakes as well. Just oh, 20. I'm gonna go full dynamic. Okay, bit more automatic. We are slowing down, just not dependent brake 50%. Okay, we've gone past the point, but let's aim anywhere. Anywhere here is pretty good. Come on. And suppression. Oh, that's suppression. Oh. Full service on that. Beautiful. Oh, well, look at that. that felt monumental. I'm not gonna lie, that felt monumental to like bring that to a stop. And I guess that's the sort of, I guess the power of driving sort of like these sort of American locomotives and doing the freight stuff. Like there is a bit of joy, even though I don't, as I said, I don't reach for these sort of routes and stuff like that. It is sort of like, yeah, you feel the sort of difference in terms of how you drive these trains compared to say like electric multiple units or DMU or multiple units in general, just like really easy sort of stop start kind of ways of driving compared to actually having to think about how much you need to apply brake percentage wise and what type of brake. So I do appreciate the sort of like driving factors that come that are involved in this. But guys, I really hope you've enjoyed my last first look video of the first look series of Train Sim World Free out of all the sort of starter routes that you can get. Obviously there is Age or Spirit of Steam, which I will get to at some point, but probably for now I'll probably do some other stuff in Train Sim World Free, look at some other routes and see how they look like in the with the dynamic weather, etc. And maybe just some like other stuff. But let me know what you would want to see for Train Sim World Free content until whenever they release the sort of like next sort of DLC specifically for Train Sim World Free, because obviously I don't think they're going to backdate anything now anymore for like Train Sim World 2. It'll just be all new content for Train Sim World Free. So we'll see what that next edition will be. But I'll still be doing some videos on Train Sim World Free from time to time and just yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys have a lovely day. I will see you in another video and probably less brake management near the end. Until the next time we get back onto an American freight locomotive with a 10-mile long train. It's been a pleasure. I hope you guys enjoyed my first look series of Train Sim World Free. Let me know what you think. Is this your route? Is the German route your route? Is the UK route your route? Probably most of my viewers are UK, so it would be the UK route. But I had fun. Nice kind of varied selection of routes, even though probably the UK and the German are pretty sort of similar-ish. But that's Train Sim World Free. Enjoy it. Let's see how this iteration and era of it goes. And I'll see you in the next video.
We ain't never giving up 'cause